Hey guys, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing the Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII, which is a third-person shooter spin-off of Final Fantasy VII, which this game actually takes place after the Final Fantasy VII CGI movie, Advent Children, so this actually takes place after that. So without further ado, let's get started. This actually has RPG roots, but I don't know, the spin-off is, there's actually another spin-off, I can't remember. It's called Crisis Core, is actually what the spin-off's name is on the PSP. Maybe I'll cover that some other point. I don't know how. I need to get one of those things that hooks up to the PSP where you can put it to your TV. But yeah, this is a third-person shooter with some leveling up and RPG elements, but essentially a third-person shooter. Very Japanese. It doesn't have that swift Call of Duty or Max Payne control or whatever, but if you're interested in the Final Fantasy VII storyline, I mean, and you like shooters and they don't completely turn you off, and you're patient with the, I don't know how to explain it. Like, usually, especially early games, Japanese shooter games don't really have like the fluid control like an American shooter has, because shooters aren't really as popular in Japan as they are here. So they're not bad, like the controls, but they're sort of clunky. I don't know. You just have to play it if you're interested in this supported game. Sorry, I was reading support. This type of game. And are the storyline or whatever, I definitely check it out, and it's pretty cheap. I actually bought this game when it first came out for $50, and I sold it for whatever reason. I wanted it again, and I happened to go to this thrift store called the Love of Jesus thrift store, which is down the street, and they had it for $1. And when I opened it up, it actually had Final Fantasy X in it, but I already own Final Fantasy X, so I gave it back to the thrift store people and said they could spread out the money. And I felt like I was doing a good deed, but I probably would have kept it if I didn't have Final Fantasy X, so I guess I was being greedy in a weird way. Or I was going to be greedy if I didn't have it. I haven't played this in so long. I forgot almost everything about it. You star as Vincent Valentine. Or Valentine, I don't remember how he says his name. But he was one of the hidden characters of Final Fantasy VII. They don't have full voice actors in the original Final Fantasy VII, so I couldn't hear him say the name, and I don't remember much about this. But Vincent Valentine was one of the hidden characters that you actually had to do extra stuff, and he's like a genetic vampire kind of character. Like, he's not like a vampire like Dracula to do with like spirits or demons or whatever. He was like made in a lab, although you find him in a coffin. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how I got him in Final Fantasy VII. It's been so long. But he actually, even though he was a hidden character and a lot of people would never see him, he actually became one of the most popular characters. And that's Yuffie. She was actually one of the hidden characters too of the game. She was a lot harder, and she'd steal your stuff a few times before you actually, I think you had to fight her or whatever, and then have her. So the CGI actually is really good in this game. It matches the quality of the Advent Children movie. It's kind of weird, like, when this game came out, there was like 3 different Final Fantasy VII related products that came out around the same amount of time. So I'm guessing they made all this stuff around the same amount of time, or the same time frame, because this is the same quality CGI that the movie had. So I'm wondering when they made the movie if they made these scenes as well. But this actually acts as a sequel to the movie, at least time frame wise. But most of the characters from Final Fantasy VII make some type of cameo. And then Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core on the PSP is actually a game that takes place before Final Fantasy VII. A lot of people want them to remake Final Fantasy VII, which I think would be a cool idea, but I mean, I guess it would require more than just an HD remake, because I don't think the graphics would hold up as well if they just sharpened it up. I think people want a full-fledged 3D game, and I think people's feelings are, instead of making sequels to Final Fantasy 13, which I had no problem with, I really liked, they're like, why don't you focus that effort on remaking Final Fantasy 7? I mean, everything's pretty much, I mean, the backgrounds and everything is storyboarded or whatever, so I mean, I guess you would just have to render it in 3D, but I'm not a developer or a digital artist. I'm sure that would take time, but I mean, everything's already designed, and that's what people would want, you know. You know it would sell like hotcakes. If I was a company and everybody asked for one thing, and I just kept on deciding to make original things that are a gamble that may sell or may not sell, like, I would definitely listen to the fans, because that's what they'd want, and maybe after that game would make money, I'd try to do something creative. I think that's why there's not a lot of new IPs though too, so kudos for Square for trying new things, although a lot of times their new things are sequels to other games, but I mean, I don't think it was as well received, but I mean, Lightning Returns was like the third Final Fantasy 13 game, and it played completely different. At least they're trying to innovate. I mean, that's less than I could say about like some of the more popular franchises that come out like almost every single year. Although new Call of Duty is supposed to been in development for 3 years, I don't know if that's even going to make any difference, because I believe like Sledgehammer, the people that are making the new game, actually had to help with Ghost, so maybe it was in 3 years. I mean, Alien Colonial Marines was in a long development, a long time, and that was I enjoyed it, but I will admit it was a pretty basic game, so you never know. Or it could be mostly focused on multiplayer, but I'll try to keep a positive attitude towards it until I see it. But I mean, at least they're trying to innovate, even though they're doing new stuff, but I think they should just bite the bullet and remake Final Fantasy VII. I think that would give Square Enix like a lot of their old fans back that kind of gave up on them, and make them feel like they're being listened to. And it would be cool. You don't have to. Final Fantasy VII never had the most complex battle system. And not only would it look cool if they made like a next-gen version, but I think it would gather new fans of the series, because it's just simple enough where it's not going to scare away like new people that are afraid of delving into an RPG because it's overly complicated or you have to micromanage, because Final Fantasy VII was pretty straightforward. And honestly, Final Fantasy VII was a system seller for the PlayStation 1, so like an updated version. And the characters are still iconic. Like, a lot of people that never even played the game would know Cloud was, and like Tifa and Sephiroth and stuff like that that might have never even played the game. They're almost like pop culture icons. Not to the extent of Mario or something, but I mean, they're popular. Since this game is made by people who are used to making RPGs, as you can see, this game has a lot of story in it. And with me talking, I'm not quite sure what's going on, except that people have reflective neon bands, but it looks cool. But I would like to play the game eventually. It looks like I might be able to play the game now. Though the Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core and PSP is kind of an action game in like a hack and slash sort of way, but it relies more on a little bit of RPG elements. So it's a pretty nice looking PlayStation 2 game. PlayStation 2 isn't really known for its anti-aliasing, which I hope if they ever do get the PlayStation 2 emulator up and running on the PS4, that it would take care of that, because the games would look a lot better with the anti-aliasing, especially if it's a clear anti-aliasing. PlayStation 3 has anti-aliasing, but a lot of its anti-aliasing, its hardware version of anti-aliasing kind of makes the games look a little bit blurry. Okay, we're gonna... So this has a lock-on feature, I guess. You can turn it off if you want. It says use items by accessing the item function located within the main menu. Items can also be selected using the D-pad. Okay. Gotcha. You can tell that the people that made this aren't used to making action games. They're used to making RPGs, so a lot of menu-based things. Alright, reload. Can I shoot those things? I guess not. So you have typical health points like a RPG with the HP on the top left corner. My camera's viewfinder, as I stated before in older videos, doesn't show what everything that is actually recorded, so I zoomed it in a little bit. I haven't perfected where the invisible borders are, so I'm hoping nothing's cut off. Does that mean I gotta use a potion? No, I got one. I guess you only can hold 4 potions at a time. There's another game like that I've played recently where you only can hold 4 potions at a time. I can't remember what game it was. I'm thinking Ninja Gaiden, actually. How do I get down there? You might have noticed this game is somewhat linear. Visible walls. There we go. Stairs going down. There's also a first-person view. I think it looks like shit though, because I can't see my gun. There should be a menu system here. You can actually customize your gun and stuff. Right now I can't really do much because I just started the game, but you can change the barrels and stuff like that and make the gun that feels best for you, I guess. Right now I'm not really worried about that.
Now where am I supposed to meet Reeve?
It's a cool looking map, but I'm foolishly ignoring it just so I can play the game. I can't remember if there's stuff in these barrels or not. One thing I don't like about, one pet peeve I have with shooters is when you can't... Oops, sorry. I'll shoot these guys though. I thought he had a melee attack. I didn't imagine it. Like I said, I hate it when I play the Call of Duty games run so smooth, but unless you're shooting a window or something, like everything feels like it's made out of like solid steel. Give me those bullets. I need them. And your potion. Give it to me. Mako point discovered. Step on these glowing areas to absorb Mako energy. Mako energy is used to power materia equipped to weapons. Press L1 to activate the material. Well, I'm not gonna... Material... So I guess I can customize my weapon with fire. Yep. Okay. Now it's customized with fire. It's like a steampunk Hind D helicopter. I guess that blows up since it locked onto it. Like I said before, you can turn off that mode where the reticule locks onto the enemies. This is actually the first time I put the disc in since I purchased it, so I'm not really messing with any options. Just want to record the video. Obviously, there's... Do I have a card key? I don't remember picking one up. There's the guy. Or one of them. Where'd you come from? Oh, a card key. Well, it's like Doom. Which is kind of a cheap way to make the game last longer. As old as Doom is, and as simple as Doom is, it's still one of my favorite first-person shooters I can just go to and play and have fun. Like it's almost like it's a new game. Even though it has like no special unique feature about it that any recent game has. I mean, it's not as simple as, I guess, like Wolfenstein or Wolfenstein 3D, but I don't know, there's something special about Doom where I can just play it. Quake doesn't hold up as well to me, but I do like Doom. I'm kind of confused about which way I need to go. I probably should have looked at that map a little bit more. That's a bad guy. Activate Vincent's limit break and transform into the powerful Galleon beast by using the limit breaker. Vincent will return to his normal form for a set period of time or when the R1 and L1 buttons are pressed simultaneously. I guess I can start it by simultaneously pressing it. So much stuff to remember. Is that a potion? I'll take it. Now you should be able to give it to me. Thank you. I'm gonna beat you by hand just to see if I could, and I did. There's a cool Vincent figurine at the comic book store at one point. I wish I would have got it. I didn't have enough money at the time. Somebody else bought it, and I'll never see it again. And I think it's super expensive now. If you bought it off of eBay, and I'm almost 30 years old and I'm talking about buying toys. But it looked cool. Okay. The cutscene wasn't very necessary to establish that they're bad guys, but I appreciate the effort, guys. Now I'm kind of confused about which way I was going before. You stole the kid, and then you're gonna hide in what appears to be a storage unit. Take that. Oh, there's this teddy bear. I guess I'm supposed to feel bad. You're gonna shoot at me, you little dick? Don't you know who I am? I'm not the Juggernaut, but I still shouldn't be messed with, I guess. I forgot what Phoenix Downs do on this game, an RPG, or Final Fantasy actually, because I guess every RPG has its unique little thing that does the exact same thing. A Phoenix Down is what you use to resurrects somebody that got knocked out. If everybody's knocked out in an RPG, it's game over. Unless you're playing Final Fantasy 13, if the main player gets knocked out in 13, then it's game over even if your other characters are alive. So I'm guessing a Phoenix Down might work as a life. That was useless for me to get that health potion. There's a high potion. Potion, use this, take it. Well, I can't help you because I don't know how to get in. Oh, I push. I didn't see push on the top of the screen. Why is this being timed? Alright, run, little one. I shot him that many times before, but whatever. I guess they wanted me to push that button really bad. Oh, you named him after that terrible bird movie, or the place, but I'm guessing you really meant to name him after the bird movie. I don't think you guys are cool enough to name him actually after the place called Rio. I'm pretty sure it was the bird movie. Even though I believe that movie probably didn't exist around the time that this game came out, just the place. Unless these people have really excellent foresight of the upcoming CGI movies of the future. Locate the card key. That's pretty lame mission objective. I'll do it. This game has fun moments, but you really just want to play if you're a Final Fantasy 7 fan and you just want to see the story, where the story goes, and the cameos and stuff like that. Because the gameplay isn't going to blow your mind.
You should be alright.
But it's like a reunion if you cut your teeth on Final Fantasy 7 on the PlayStation 1. Sniper scope. These weapons look similar. I don't know where the sniper scope's supposed to go on this. Oh, right here. Now I have a little steampunk sniper rifle that I don't know. Oh, I gotta go to first person. Great. Let me guess, these people are going to be super far away, so I have to utilize my sniper scope with ultra sensitive controls. Take some of that. I do believe that is a card key. Reload my weapon. Walk through this radioactive material again. I remember reading in a magazine about, I think it was the unofficial PlayStation magazine. I used to like that one better than the official PlayStation magazine because they had all the editors from the Game Players magazine that I used to read all the time. They had like a joke about the characters in Final Fantasy VII being exposed to materia, and that's why they were deformed. Because if you play the original Final Fantasy, like the characters when they walk in the town, hands are like super blocky and deformed, and they said it was due to overexposure to materia. I always thought that was kind of funny. But me describing it instead of just seeing the little comic book they made is probably not nearly as funny. But whatever, I tried. I don't remember where that card key area is. So I'm probably walking in the wrong area. Probably should look at my map, but I'm a stubborn motherfucker, and I'm not. I can't even jump over that, and I got a double jump. It's so wasted. Alright. Wish I had like a little mini map. You take for granted like all these like extra features and stuff in games. A lot of people call games like shitty now that have all these extra features, and I guess it doesn't hold up to the current games, but if you go back you really appreciate like all the little features that like these games that you said that sucked actually had, and they're not that terrible games after all. Not that this game's terrible or anything. It's an average shooter with an interesting story. It's fun. I mean, that's all that counts. But I mean, like, it's not gonna blow your mind. You really have to be interested in a Final Fantasy VII storyline. I believe this is where I have to go. Use card key. Well, yes, I will. Thank you. A lot of the level design in this game seems to be cut and paste. If I remember correctly, I think it gets better with like the progression of levels, but a game should be well designed from start to finish. Like I remember when I played Metal Gear Solid 2, which is a great game, but it felt like they worked so hard on the first part of the game, with like everything being destructible and a lot of different stuff to play around with. It seemed like the other half of the game after the tanker level seemed almost tacked on. I guess I should add that to my third weapon. Customized long barrel. I don't know why I decided to make it the third weapon, because my second weapon's exactly the same, so I gotta hit the weapon select button twice. Open. Uh-oh, it's loading. Either it's a cutscene or some shit's gonna go down, and or both. Looks like both. Guess I'm gonna have to take that helicopter gun down. Sorry, I was thinking about what gun to choose, and I said that out loud instead of what I meant to say. Alright, let me use my Joker gun. If you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say Joker gun, it kind of looks like the gun that Jack Nicholson shot the Batwing down with in the Michael Keaton 1989 Batman movie. Seriously, I gotta fight these turds. Okay, I didn't really need a full-fledged cutscene to watch you add extra guys, but whatever. I know you guys meant well. Maybe the whole reason for that is to add potions, since this is still somewhat early in the game. Oh, they have automatic weapons. Man, my health is going down fast. Oh, fuck. I think the helicopter's shooting at me, not those guys. Helicopter means business. A little close for comfort. Little slow motion matrix shit going on here. A little saving going on.
Vincent Valentine.
Alright, apparently they felt like they need to throw a little ghost in the shell into this series.
Is this the one?
Yes.
Okay. Apparently I'm the one. And according to Highlander, there only can be one. Alright, well, I'm going to stop here. This is Final Fantasy VII, the Dirge of Cerberus. It's a confident, fun little action game. Nothing mind-blowing, especially if you're used to the action games of today. But if you're interested in the Final Fantasy VII storyline and where it goes after the actual game of Final Fantasy and the movie Advent Children, that only adds to the fun and intrigue to the game. So, I recommend this game if you're into Final Fantasy VII. I'd say, I don't know, proceed with caution if you're just in it for the action, because you might not get as much out of it. But from this video you can kind of get an idea. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, could you please, if you wouldn't mind, to click the thumbs up button. You don't have to, but I mean, it lets me know whether you like the video or not, and leave a comment, positive or negative, just for feedback, so I know what you guys want to watch versus what you guys don't want to watch, so I can provide you with content that I like to record and you like to watch, so we can compromise with each other, I guess, because I know, like, sometimes if I recorded some of the stuff I like to play, you probably wouldn't be into it. So when I record these videos, I try to keep you guys in mind. And I also make a channel so I can watch it too. So I'm being halfway selfish, halfway generous. I'm talking way too much here. And that's bad for, I guess, you new people that are watching my videos for the first time. I'm not trying to scare you away, but if you'd like awkward videos, or if you'd like maybe see a different video that might be better before you decide to subscribe, there are plenty of other videos, and if you did like this video, there's plenty of awkward videos too. Just hit the subscribe button and then you'll have like over 400 videos of awkwardness and maybe not so awkwardness, I hope, available to you for your viewing pleasure. So anyway guys, either way, thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel by just talking and clicking the thumbs up and liking the videos and letting me know what you like or your opinions, because like I said, like, I don't make a dime off of this. I just do it because it's fun and I like to hear from you guys, and I'm into gaming. I like to share my hobby, and hopefully at the end of the day I'm making an interesting channel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye.